Hi there, this is the first video tutorial of the year in second grade, and this is on how to complete an error log with your child at home. We went over this thoroughly in class today. We did it as a whole group. I actually worked with one of my small groups, so some of your students may have partially completed error logs at home tonight, and they will be having 2 nights to do the rest of the work at home. Typically error logs are sent home one day, and then they get 2 nights to do it, and then it's due back on the day of the test. So in this case, it got sent home today on Monday, and it'll be due back on Wednesday with our test on Wednesday. They will also be able to complete it in one night, some of them, depending on how much work it is and how many they missed on the pre-test. And they can definitely turn it in early. That's no problem at all. So you're going to see 3 things coming home tonight. The pre-test correction directions on how to do it. They're going to have a shade of blue, an error log for the pre-test that's completely blank. Or if they worked with me today, they have part of it filled in. And then their actual test. So this is their pre-test. Ignore the score. That is something that we always just put up there so they can see their improvement on their final test. You'll see circles or maybe slashes through problems that are incorrect, and that tells you, oh, I have an error, I need to fix it. Many times on the pre-test, you'll see a lot of question marks, and they are absolutely allowed to do question marks on the error log. Or I'm sorry, on the pre-test, and then they'll just fix them on the error log. So how this works is you will start out by looking at number 1 on your white pretest. Now, you notice ours is not white because each chapter it changes. So we actually cross this out and put yellow. And so the yellow pretest is going to have all the problems you need to fix. So some of my groups today thought it would be easier if they took their error log and detached it from their actual test. And I think that's a great idea, so that when you match them up, you can kind of see side by side. If you look at the student's work, this whole line of work is perfect. He or she does not need to correct any of this. So he's going to leave this alone and go down to the next one. You can see the student missed the first, second, and third one of the row, and then the last one. So some of my kids today thought it would be easiest just to go through first and actually highlight all the ones they need to fix. This row is fine. He or she got this whole thing correct. Oh, but we forgot to do this double fact right here, or we didn't understand it at the time, so we're going to highlight that. Same thing with the bottom. If I scroll down, it looks like this whole section was missing. This was a good try, but didn't quite get it, and then this bottom section. So for this student, I'm actually going to kind of highlight everything down here, and you're going to see that a lot tonight, or when you guys do this. And then you're going to go through the second page, and you're going to do the same thing. Most of the students on the second page just kind of put question marks for most of it. There are a few that they attempted, but not many. And then if you can see this child did a great job on this section, and he or she actually got it all correct. So then we skip down to here. These 2 were the hardest questions to kind of think about on the test, so we actually did this today. If your child was in school today, we actually did these 2 together as a class, so they should have those done tonight when they come home. So once you go through and you actually highlight things, they're going to take a pencil, and I'm going to take a marker so you guys can actually see it. You're going to start kind of looking at the test. This child said 4 plus 4 is 0. Well, we know that one's wrong, and we know 4 plus 4 is 8. So literally all they do is write the correct answer. 9 plus 5. So looks like they wrote an answer, but it kind of got erased. They weren't sure. It looks like it says 4. So go ahead and write in the answer. This one, 8 plus 8 is 0. And we know 8 plus 8 is 16. This one's correct. And then 5 plus 3 is not 2. 5 plus 3 is actually 8. But as you're doing this with your child, you can kind of see a pattern. I'm looking at this right now, and I see 4 plus 4 is 0. 8, why do they have 2 zeros here? How did they get 2? Oh, and as you're talking to your child tonight, oh, it looks like you've been subtracting and not adding. And then that's where this whole error log comes into play, is they're seeing their mistakes, and it's not just, it's a silly mistake. They didn't look at the sign. They maybe rushed through it. They weren't looking. So that's why we have you guys do this at home with your child and work through it. What doubles fact can help you find the sum? There's two answers I will take. We've been talking a lot about double facts. If 6 plus 7, if we're looking for the answer, they could have 6 plus 6 is 12, add one more, and that's how they get that 13 as the final answer. Or 7 plus 7 is 14, and take it down 1, and then get that 13 answer. So that's what we're looking for here. This is just straight addition. So those are pretty self-explanatory. And the bottom part, a related fact, we actually call this flip-flop facts or turnaround facts. So if 5 plus 3 is 8, we know 3 plus 5 has to be 8. Oh, I know what it is. It's subtraction. So they're taking the biggest answer, which is 8, and they're subtracting one of the add-ins. So 8, and they can work their way backwards. 8 minus 5 equals 3, or they can say 8 minus 3 equals 5. Either way, the job is for them to take an addition problem and turn it around and make a subtraction problem. So we've just been kind of boxing or circling the answers so they know the biggest number always goes first in a subtraction problem. So again, I would take two answers for that depending on which order they go in to subtract. And then the fact family, same thing with the biggest number. The biggest number is 11. So that's going to be the front of a subtraction problem. 11 minus 7 equals 4. And 11 minus 4 equals 7. And then these were the flip-flop and turnaround facts that I was just talking about. 4 plus 7 equals 11. Or if they flip-flop it around, 7 plus 4 equals 11. So those are called fact families, what we've been working on in school all the past couple weeks, and hopefully you've seen that home with homework. For these, I won't do them all, but I do want to let everyone know that what we're looking for is a number sentence here, not just an answer. They get 2 points, one for a number sentence and one for the answer. So we go through and we underline what's important. 3 zebras, 9 falcons, 8 elephants. How many animals did Julie see at the zoo? And we kind of circle the question so we know what we're being asked. What does that mean? That means we're going to add 3 plus 9 plus 4 equals, then they write their final answer here. So I'm looking for a final answer, but I'm also looking for this number sentence, and then they write their final answer up on this little line too. So those are our 3 number stories. This is just fill in the blank, pretty easy. And then the back, like I said, that student did really well on the matching. They're going to have to match to see which one is the add-in, so they're looking at the arrows. So they're just drawing lines. Which one means counting back? Which one means counting forward or counting on? Which one is a double? Which one's a near double? And then, like I said, these 2 should have been done in class. And this is actually the error log that I modeled in class with them. How do you know the order of add-ins and addition problem? What do we know about them? Well, we know that they don't have to be in order. They can be flip-flopped around or a turnaround fact. And then how do you group add-ins to solve problems that have more than 2 add-ins? So we had strategies like making a 10, doubles could be an answer, near doubles could be an answer, adding 2 numbers together. There's many ideas on how you can group add-ins, but the example that we did in class today was a problem like 7 plus 3 plus 4. Well, we know 3 plus 4 is a near double because 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and then 7 plus 7, oh, look at that, that's a double. 7 plus 7 is 14. So those were the kind of examples today that we talked about. What they may get points taken off for is this very important part. Write a complete sentence. Many times students just give me a number model and they don't give me complete sentences, so they need to have both. So when you're all done, what I need the students to do, if they have detached everything and taken it apart, they're going to put it back together. So it has the pretest, the error log. I don't need the directions back, but if they want to go ahead and put them together, that's totally fine. Next error log, there won't be this extra sheet of directions. It'll just be written in a small bulleted area up top. The best part about this is when they come home, they're going to have their final copy test. When they bring it back to school on Wednesday, I will collect them, keep them until I grade the final test. You will see the final test back here that's stapled in the back. And our goal today, we said whatever you get for your pre-test, I don't care what it is, I want your post-test or your final test to be better than your pre-test score. So that was our goal, is to make whatever you get for your pre-test, it doesn't matter. As long as you make an improvement, that's all we're striving for. All right, hope you had a great night, and I hope this helped just a bit with the ARILOG. Tune in for more. Goodbye.